things first, let me introduce myself. I'm Christiane David, life and money coach from Green Wealth Legacy, and I teach women how to build a healthy relationship with money so they can create real wealth. And this is really important to me because financial confidence doesn't start with numbers. It's really about knowing what you can control and realizing that you already have a lot of power within yourself. Again, very important to understand that you already have a foundation. So when life brings you life, we all know, right? Especially when it's shaped by the choices you've made, it's really detrimental and it can really erode at your self-worth and your self-trust because you start doubting yourself, right? So when self-trust and self-worth are missing, you trying to live a fulfilling life, it's like you're trying to go up a hill with a dead engine. It only creates more frustration and disappointment and lack of momentum. So this conversation we're going to have is really about you rebuilding the engine from what you already have established. So basically, I'm going to give you a brief story about my background and how I came to create something like this and why we do what we do with my sisters. So I grew up with big emotions, but no space to express them or to process them. And as an adult, money became like the outlet that I would use to express my emotions. I wasn't taught how to be with me. And so when I felt bad, I spent money. When I felt good, I spent money. Everything that I felt inside of me was expressed through money. So it became an expression of my emotions. And so maybe some of you have used other things to express your emotions because the majority of adults have not been taught, over the majority of adults have not been taught how to process their emotions. But what's so interesting about it is it sounds fun when you're using money to express your emotions. Retail therapy, anybody?
Yeah.
But it only lasts such a short time because it's very expensive for your future. It creates a life of regrets and a lot of guilt and a lot of self-destruction. So I reached a point where I had no savings, no financial plan for the future. I had no sense of where I was going. So I really needed to change something. And I also was able to, in my 20s, realize, okay, I have all this debt, paid it off, debt free, got right back into debt. I really did not understand the process of money. But I finally understood that I needed to start over and something was missing and it wasn't discipline or it's not like I needed more income. The truth was money was never about numbers. Anyone who is in the financial world will tell you money is not a mathematical problem. And this is a misconception that we all have. So every time I thought that I needed more money, what I really needed to do was to connect to my body and understand what was happening with my thoughts, my emotions, my behaviors. And so when I did the work to reconnect to my emotional world with myself, I stopped using money as an escape. And now I started to see everything change in my life. My behaviors change. My desires change. What was so urgent about me spending money completely changed. The voice that was urging me to keep using money that way. And this is why I believe so strongly in the work that I do, that financial confidence is built when you strengthen your relationship with yourself first, because that is when money becomes a tool instead of an emotional outlet. And that is the problem with money. We are using it as an expression of the worst version of us, as an expression of all the negative emotions we're feeling, instead of being a tool. So now that we go into this quiz that I created to help you identify your level of resilience that you already have, and then you can build on that because resilience is a skill that is so valuable in every aspect of your life. And that's what's going to help you rebuild your relationship with money to achieve any dream that you have. Because a lot of people don't give themselves the benefit of dreaming about what they want. And they don't give themselves the benefit of fighting hard for those dreams and going after it and showing up because they're lacking resilience. But not because it's depleted out of them. It's because they don't recognize they already have it and they don't recognize how to build it. And so that's what this quiz is going to do because the truth is, these inner strengths that we're going to go over, we all have them. One or two of them is the most predominant inside of us. So the quiz is going to help you reveal which one is the most predominant in you. And then we're going to walk through every single step of how to make it uh, to round you out so that you can be this whole person, fully competent, completely equipped to deal with your finances and any setbacks that can come. You'll be standing straight. You can face any storm. So this work is not about fixing something broken within you. Nothing is broken. You're 100% worthy every single day. It's about recognizing what you already have that's working, and we're going to strengthen the self-trust that's there. We're going to learn how to build a healthier relationship with money, and we're going to do that one step at a time. Because financial confidence is available to every single human being every single day. It is not something that's far off in the future. So, with that being said, now you can open your workbook. You have 10 questions to answer. You're going to need to circle the letter that applies to you answering the question. And then at the end, we're going to reveal what you each are.
Oh, sure. We can do it.
Let's do it.
Do
Okay,
it.
I was gonna try to give you guys a timer on the Zoom, but I didn't see where that is, so I'm gonna put a timer on my phone.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you all. Let me give you. Should I give you 10 minutes? Is 10 minutes too much?
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's too much.
let's do 5 minutes then.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you have about 30 seconds left. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Hey, listen, if
Hello,
you,
thank you.
yes, if you just got here, we're doing a quiz and you can get your copy of the document we're using in the chat. Here we go. Time's up. But if you're still going, you go ahead because if Michelle is trying to catch up, we can give her a few minutes. It'll be really fun to do it together.
And I apologize for being late. Can you resend it? It's not showing me any
Oh, I
pass.
forgot. Yeah, you wouldn't have it because you just got here. So hang on.
Yeah,
Let me do
I'm
that.
sorry.
That's fine. Here we go.
Okay,
How are we doing?
I'm done.
Awesome. Okay, everybody seems to be on the same page. I love it. Okay, so from here, we're going to reveal the results of the quiz. So if you count how many similar letters you circled, say you have more A's than any other letter, then that's your predominant resiliency skill, and that would be the stabilizer's path.
Okay.
If you have more B's than any other letter, you would be the builder. If you have more C's, you are the visionary. And if you have more D's, you're the resourceful one. You are on the resourceful path. So, Michelle, you weren't here earlier, but what I was saying was these foundations are what you already have within you as a your level of resiliency. And the remainder of the path, we're going to go over how you build on that. Because we all have available to us the capacity to build financial confidence, and the underlying skill that is necessary for that is resilience. And so we're not broken. Nothing is wrong with you if money feels like it's hard. It's just important for you to see what's already available to you that you have, and then we can build on that to build that connection back with the finances. So if anybody wants to be a volunteer, we can start with me because when I did this test, I was the visionary. I was in the visionary path. And if you look at the visionary page, you could see that my initial strengths are purpose, possibility, inspiration. So I'm already a person who dreams big, who wants more. She's always believing in the possibility of the future. That's a beautiful way to start. Now, if you look at your path and you're like, that's not me, I want you to question that because if this quiz is 100% accurate, if you see that it landed you on the path, even if you don't recognize it, I want you to dig in your life where this is showing up for you. I had one client she ended up being the stabilizer, and she was like, I'm not calm. And as we get talking, we discover that she actually has a calm streak. But the average part of her life that she's looking at, she doesn't see the calm. But in reality, she is a calm person. So I want you to really understand this is revealing what you already have. Trust that. Go investigate so that you can build that trust that you're already starting from somewhere. You're not starting from scratch. And
Christiane,
so, yes.
excuse me just a minute. Could you go over what the A, B, C, D's, and E's are again as far as the path goes?
Yes. So if you have mostly A's,
Uh-huh.
you are the stabilizer.
Okay.
If you have mostly B's, you are the builder.
Okay.
And if you have mostly C's, you are the visionary.
Okay.
And if you have mostly D's,
Okay.
you are the resourceful one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Could you be somewhere in between? If you've got
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. And the reason this is possible is because we have all these levels of resiliency. It's just the one that's the most dominant.
Okay.
And sometimes you will still find that you are dominant in half of two paths. So that's the reason why I have the full picture. Once you've established your foundation,
Mhm.
the next step, I give it to you below that baseline resourcefulness baseline. You have the arrow that will establish here's the next step, and here's the next step after that. So even if you find yourself like, okay, I'm a little bit of the resourceful and a little bit of the visionary, so what should be my next step then? Then you'll notice that being a visionary is a good foundation. And then you want to go to the builder, which is breaking down that vision into steps.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you want to take it to the stabilizer.
Mhm.
If you're a resourceful one. If you're a visionary, the next step is to be a builder, break it down, and then become a resourceful person who has endured tough times and knows how to move past the tough times, and then stabilize by finding the calm and the consistency. Because the point of this journey is for you to be able to create a whole life. So if we take it step by step, like let's go back to, let's say you are a stabilizer. I don't know what you guys discovered that you are, but I don't know. I was just having really a lot of fun when I was doing this quiz, because it kind of like, that's right, this is what I have. Like I'm already starting from somewhere, right? I'm not starting from scratch. So say you discover that you are a stabilizer. You are on the stabilizer's path. That's your foundation. That's your baseline. So you're basically a person who's already calm, consistent, and you love safety and regulation. Regulation means you like having a system. Okay? So if that is your foundation, again, if you feel like this don't apply to you, go dig in your life. You will find areas of your life where you do like a system, you do rely on safety. And so once you know that this is who you are, so notice that first box, the phase 1, in order for you to honor that baseline so that you can go from there, you follow those steps, because the goal of that phase, if you want to be like grounded in that phase, is to put safety first with no chaos and no pressure. Basically is like, you don't need to hustle to achieve your goals. You can be a calm, consistent person who is regulated with systems and just follow through the systems, and you don't have to rush. You don't have to pursue every idea that comes up. You don't have to work 24 hours a day to make more money. You can decide to create parameters, boundaries, and still make a lot of money. When you follow that foundation, the next stage that you want to build on, so your next capacity to build is becoming a visionary, someone who allows themselves to dream bigger, to want more. Give yourself permission to want more. So many women I work with are afraid to ask themselves what they want, because they're being socialized that they don't deserve more. That wanting more is being greedy. And that is absolutely not true. More is what you define it as. Greediness is an expression of a lack of emotional regulation. But as you're working through this process, you're coming from a regulated person, a regulated nervous system. So there's no way you wanting more would create greediness. More women having money is only good for the world, the entire world. So wanting more, and if it's money even, because sometimes women, it's not about the money. You don't want more money. You want more freedom. You want more time with your family. Just wanting more. What more is it for you? Define it. That's what the visionary path is about. You're defining the more, right? And that's what that goal is there, is permission to want more. You're allowed 100%. So as you build the courage and the gumption, the audacity to want more, you become proficient at that. You start walking tall with freedom. When you feel like you've achieved that, where you feel confident in your desire for more, that ambition, you can like decide to build on phase 3, which is being a builder, which is giving you a structure to the dream. Now you have a dream. We need to bring it to reality. It's not fantasy. It's real. You want something. Let's build it. And so you have the action steps. You're going to break it down into small steps. You're going to start creating milestones. You're going to achieve it. Like if you want a raise, you're working for maybe a company where you want a raise, you're going to decide, okay, over the next 6 months, I'm going to establish the value that I bring to this company. And here's how I'm going to do that, step by step by step. And I'm going to keep receipts so that in 6 months, when I show up in front of my boss that I want the raise, I have receipts to show him I can double the revenue of the company, or I can bring this department up to this level. You have proof that this is how capable you are. And when you bring the conversation that way, they're most likely going to give you the raise because that's the kind of conversation your boss going to have with you. They don't want you to come to them and be like, I deserve a raise because so and so has a raise. You know what I mean? So you break down the vision into small steps and you show up every day. And when you live this life where you're like, okay, I feel like I've got my steps down. I know how to achieve goals. I know how to show up for the goals. The next level of resiliency is being on the resourceful path. And the resourceful path is the person who is, you lock in that resilience. Like, and nothing stopping me. I'm gonna get it no matter what. Now, this doesn't mean I'm gonna sacrifice everyone in my life. This doesn't mean I'm going to sacrifice my health, my desires. No, it just means you're going to work hard. And working hard, it's not working more hours, is being the highest level of emotional regulated woman that you can be. I teach my clients that we have to build emotional wealth. You have to build the capacity to hold positive and negative emotions in your body at the same time. What we're socialized to do is to reject emotions and most definitely reject negative emotions. So when you decide you want to raise, you put the steps in, you keep the receipts, you show up in front of your boss, and he said, nah, I don't think so. And he gives the promotion to someone else. Someone who's not emotionally regulated, who's not emotionally wealthy, she shuts down. She freaks out. She goes into victimhood. She blames the system. And she shrinks. And life sucks. She loses her power. Versus you, that was attempt number one. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try something else. Or let me go get a job where I will be valued if you feel like you've given your 100% best. Okay, I feel disappointed and I know how to move forward with the disappointment instead of, oh, let me sit over here and complain for the rest of my time here. Let me start showing up late for work because I'm not appreciated at this company. Let me start complaining about my bosses in the break room every opportunity that I get. That's not resourcefulness. When you're resourceful, you understand that every setback is just for you to prove how much you really wanted it. Like, we really need to get used to the failure being a teacher. And this comes from school. It's nothing broken in us. Growing up in school, if you had an F, you were terrible. You were shamed. Everybody made fun of you. And you didn't pass the grade. But instead of taking that heritage, that legacy, let's flip the script. You failed. Great news. What did you learn? That is the best news. There is something in failure that you learn. You will never learn in success. If you went for the first time to your boss and said, here are the receipts. This is how good I am. I want the promotion. And he said, how much do you want? You'd be like, I want 50% more. Great. You won. That's good. But it trains you that you don't need resourcefulness. You just need to put a plan in place, and then you will always hear a yes. We live in a world that is full of no's. One day you're going to hear a no, and it's going to slap you in the face. I promise you, the real suffering mankind suffers is because we resist reality. When we encounter obstacles and setbacks, we should be grateful. I even teach my clients that having debt, carrying debt is a good thing. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. When you made the decision to borrow money from a lender, you needed that money. Thank God for capitalist society where we can borrow money, right? Okay, the money came at a very high cost for high interest debt. Fine, but you knew that. Now, as you're working towards paying off the debt, here's a ninja move you could do. You're putting money away to the debt. Yes, the money is not going in your account, but you're flexing a muscle that you don't notice because you're complaining about the debt. You're flexing a muscle of putting money away. As soon as you pay off the debt, keep exercising that muscle and put that money in your bank account. You've already achieved that. Versus when you're paying off the debt and you're complaining the whole time, you're probably not going to pay off the debt as soon as you want it to pay off anyways, because you have such a nasty attitude about it. And this is why that high interest debt lingers forever. It's not really because the interest is high. And if you do pay off the debt, you will get right back into debt because you didn't learn anything from it. Versus if you pay off the debt with the happiest, most grateful attitude, and then as soon as you're done paying off the debt, you just keep putting the same amount of money away because you've already been doing it for years. You didn't die. You didn't go into bankruptcy. That means you know how to put money aside. You're never too broke to put money aside. And this is one best way to do that. So that's the value of failure. And this is what being a resourceful. Do you see how now this closes the full, you become a whole person who, when she encounters difficulties in life, she knows how to bounce back. When she encounters amazing things, she knows how to celebrate. She knows how to appreciate what she's already achieved. She knows how to pause and acknowledge the bountifulness in her life, the abundance in her life. You've got to have both. You've got to be capable of, I'm having an amazing day and I'm having a tough day. Either way, I show up for life. It's not, oh, I'm going to be happy when I have an amazing day. And when I have a bad day, I'm going to be mean to everybody. No, you're missing out. And this is the work that this is doing for you. It's showing you how to close the gaps where you're missing out. Because I promise you, every day can be an amazing day if you choose to. When I discovered life coaching tools that I use for my clients now, I used to be a very optimistic person, very upbuilding and excited about life. But I promise you, I 10 times that. I even overcame my negativity about my lack of sleep. I am an energy. I tell my sisters I manufacture energy, which means I don't sleep well because I am full of energy. A lot of people who only need 2, 3 hours of sleep, it's really because they have way too much energy. They need an outlet. This is why I love fitness. And so I've had sleep problems for a very long time, pretty much my full adult's life. I've slept 2, 3 hours here and there. Once in a blue moon, my body's like, okay, I'll give you a break. I'll sleep like 8 hours a night for like a full week. But usually it's less than that. And I struggled with it for so long until my coach years ago, she asked me, she said, you could just change your attitude about it. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, what if you just trusted that your body knew how much sleep it needed? And if it wakes up, obviously it wants to do something because the body doesn't lie. You guys, that changed my entire life. So every night when I lose my sleep by 1:30 in the morning, I'm like, okay, body, what are we doing? And if I can say that to myself immediately as soon as I gain consciousness, I promise you, it doesn't matter how physically tired I am, I'm having the best day. Because I'm always showing up ready to listen. I don't believe that circumstances determine how you feel. That's not useful. If you go to work, on your way to work, you get in a car accident. Okay, accidents happen all the time. You can deal with it. You can be powerful. You can be bigger than that. For you, for your nervous system. What use is it for you to be stressed about that and let that compound into, okay, now I'm going to eat all the donuts of the day because I had a car accident. Oh, now I'm going to stay up till midnight and watch TV because I had a... What usefulness is there? Versus, this was one moment in time. Let's encapsulate that. And how am I going to show up for the next moment? You decide. You're always in control. So remember, we talked about earlier, Financial confidence is focusing on what you can control and knowing you already have so much power within you. Your work every single day is to pull that power, and you get to decide that. The world is full of tragedies and disappointments, and human behavior it's at its all-time worst. You don't have to let that be the theme of your life. Because as soon as you allow circumstances to dictate how you feel, it affects your finances immediately. You don't see it because you're so focused on how much life sucks. But it affects your finances. And then money is hard. And money doesn't have to be hard. Money is fun. It's a really good tool. And there's so much of it available, even now, especially now. And again, the more women have a lot of money, the better the world is. So go out there and get more money, but you only get more money from a really good attitude. When life is hard, money is hard, it's like you want this thing in your life, but you keep repelling it. You keep telling it how bad it is. It's not going to come. It won't. And if you want to use the example of people who are wealthy and they're mean, I promise you, you do not know the full truth. You do not. Focus on what you can control and work on your skills of resiliency. So this is a beautiful map for you to set as a goal. I was thinking that you could decide, okay, every quarter of the year, I'm going to work on this aspect of my resilience, right? Or every year, I'm going to become a visionary. Because giving yourself permission to dream is a process. I promise you. There are so many limiting beliefs inside of you that will block you from dreaming big. You're still going to be like, oh no, I think I'm just going to be focusing on this. I don't want to be too greedy. I don't know what people are going to say about me. All of that is just limiting beliefs. And here's what I teach. Your body has an internal grading system. It knows your potential. It knows what you're capable of. If you are tapping into it, but you're being conservative and realistic, and you don't go all in, you're still going to deal with a lot of background noise. Your brain is going to be complaining because you know you're not going all out. So if you're going to go in, because here's what I know to be true. Anyone who's not tapping into their potential is living a life that is insufficient because it's run by this like murmur in the back. Like, oh, I know there's more. I wish we could do more. Why can't we do more? I mean, is this all there is to life? Like, really? Is this all you got? Come on, let's do more. That noise is going on and on and on and on. And so when you want to shut it off, what do? You go spend money, you go watch more TV, you eat more food, you do drugs, cigarette, all the things. Versus go all in. Build resilience, show up for your life, work hard for you, discover what you're made of, which is pretty amazing. Every single human being is like a gem. Every single one. So that's it. Is there any questions? I can open up for questions. Or any takeaways. What's coming up for you guys?
I'm not surprised with what I came up with, but I'm kind of in between. Can you hear me? Sorry, lady.
Yes.
I'm not surprised where I ended up with, but it's kind of funny because I'm glad you said you could be, because I wasn't continually on the same answer or on the same thing, but they're mostly, and it's the visionary. That's where I ended up.
Did that ring true to you?
Sure it is. Sure. I'm always kind of with my head in the clouds, kind of. I don't think that's bad. But there are some things. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw it out there, ladies. Anybody else want to tell yours?
I'm a builder, and I think, like with anything else, just like with personality types, you kind of vacillate depending upon the situation at the time. I used to be like you. when I was younger. Uh, I always celebrated whether it was good, bad, or ugly. And it's just like the minute I got money, I had to go spend something. Then it was okay. But it's a process. It's a process. And I think as we age and we have different circumstances, different experiences, we do change. We do change. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm in the builder and I can see a lot of that, and some of it is all of the above, just because of how long I've been on this earth and my experiences. And I don't see any of them as bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But something you just said, I really like that. That only you say you only get more money with a great attitude. And I think that is so true because I know a lot of people that have a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that they're happier than I am. So, yeah, because if we focus on money, because money is transient, I mean, it can be here today and gone tomorrow. And so I just always like to have enough. And I'm not sure I would know what to do if I had too much.
And
And
that's
and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but money is very fascinating how we always focus on the money itself without realizing that it's a matter of energy. And energy is really your emotions, like your emotional state,
Right,
right?
right.
So we all have an emotional thermostat
Hmm. Hmm.
that allows us to, for our self-concept, our self-image, how we view ourselves,
Right.
what I can tolerate, what I cannot tolerate in any aspect of our life, our relationships, work, food, fitness, all the things, right?
Hmm.
So it's the same thing with money.
Yes.
You have thoughts in your brain that allow you to have a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And you stay there if you don't notice it. And so when you have more money than that level, you would do whatever it takes to bring it back down.
That's true. That
And if
that's
you
so
make,
true. Yeah.
yeah, and if you make less money than that, you will hustle to bring it over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why money is like,
Kind
you
of
gotta
like
move.
having a set point, and that is so true of many things. Because I know if I'm teaching, and if I'm teaching full time, I've got I've got more far from rich, but more money, and it's like okay, I can do this, I can do that. Now what? And so people who have lots of money, I just don't know. I see why they have issues sometimes because I like to do things for other people and so forth. But it goes back to that money thing. And I don't like to just think about money. What can I be comfortable helping with?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
good point.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I found on my list, I found lots of deeds. So I think is that resourceful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So I'm just like building up on my on me being like that visionary person and then the builder and then the stabilizer.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have your path, like your map, your roadmap
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
laid out for you, which I think is so amazing because that's another reason why life can feel so hard sometimes. People live their whole lives trying to find their passion or the thing they can do. And it's like this is giving you exactly what skills you want to build on next.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the point where you mentioned how you will go on with your day and then, things happen and then you have a car accident and because of that, then that almost like because of the car accident, then your day is all messed up.
Mhm.
And so you end up like, okay, I'm gonna have a bowl of ice cream. I'm gonna just like sit and watch TV, and I'm just gonna. And so I remember years ago, I was like a similar. I mean, not a car accident, but like something that happened and it messed up my day, and I was really, really frustrated. And I stopped at McDonald's and I had all kinds of stuff that I wasn't supposed to have because I was so mad internally. And I can see how, right, like if you change your thoughts about what is happening, like if you want to view this, take this to the positive side and just know that it's a moment in my life. I just have to be resilient at what is happening and just figure out, like, okay, what is it that I have to do here to stay strong? Because if I want to sit down and feel sorry for myself, that's gonna stop me from really like do other things in my life that I like it's like more precious to me. So it's important to really see these moments as what do I learn from this and how do I move forward? Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And this is not easy, this work, because your brain just wants to skip this whole analysis and it wants to jump over to victimhood. Like, oh, poor me, life is hard. This person drove crazy. It feels so much easier to do that. But what we miss is when you take the time to pause and really analyze and see what you can learn and how you can grow past that, that is really good for you, for your heart, for like if you do that and it becomes a practice, you love your life way more than the version of you who lets that be the stumbling block, right? Every human wants to go to the next level. This is how we're designed. We want to grow, we want to achieve more. And when we can really allow ourselves to do that, life becomes so much more meaningful, so much more purposeful. And it's not because you don't have pain, you just know how to hold the pain and keep going. So good. Amazing. Margaret, I do a lot of the money conversations with my clients. We do talk a lot about money and their connection to it and the
Mhm.
world full of wealthy people and how we've been socialized to see people who have a lot of money. It's never the money. Money just enhances who you are.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's the reason why I'm like, women need to have a lot of money because we're nurturing. On average, women love to nurture and do more and be generous.
Yeah.
So if you want to feed that generosity you have,
Yeah.
make more money so you can give more.
That's always what I want to do. That's the only reason, because I know how much is enough for me. And other than that, because I'm a nurse, and so that's in my nature. And so I see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's like, yeah, life is not, if you want to say life's not fair, I don't go there.
No,
But
it's not fair.
it's
It's not
like,
fair.
but it's like, if I can do anything to help somebody, even if it's a gift card, if it's a this, if it's a that, then you feel like you've helped somebody and you're not, because I'm not selfish. So yeah, some people are selfish. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And yeah, and so if you're a selfish person and you make more money, you're just gonna be very selfish as a person
And
with a lot of money.
miserable, because you see some of them are very cranky people.
So it's funny that you say you're bringing that up because I don't know how many times lately I have said, and it's not about any of you, but I've said to my husband, I've said, some people have so much and they give so little. And then I have, like, over the years,
Yeah,
we have had a few members that I know for them to pay their membership
yeah.
has got to be very hard.
Uh,
But they're trying to build their business and they're
yeah,
always the one that pays it. They
yeah,
always make sure if it were for, I'm talking about years ago. And
sure.
those same people are the ones that have the least to give. But
Mhm,
like we had a fire in our garage when this is years ago, but we had a
mhm,
fire and a lady who was, anyway, had the least to give was the only member of our church actually who brought over this basket full of things, and it was like saltine cracker. We had three little kids running around, it was years ago. But it's amazing because when I was first listening to you guys talking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I am all about that. Unfortunately, money doesn't make you any nicer. It makes, or it might, I mean, it could if you've been, at this point, I'd love to give as much money away as I could, when I was younger, I wanted to keep it all for us and live in a big mansion and do all that stuff. But I think you're absolutely right. I don't know, Christiane, if it might have been you or if it was Margaret, but it just makes the person more of whatever they already are, right?
And I think Christiane said that too. It's the money, and I've read it in so many personal development books too. It exposes you.
it
It
does.
just enhances and shows who you are
Yes.
because it comes from within.
It,
And so it just enhances. If you have money, if you're a good person, that's going to show. And you don't have to go out here and say, well, I gave $1,000 to this or this. It's an internal thing that you feel. And so, yeah. And now, if you're just a naturally cranky person and you're just nasty and you can have millions, you just a nasty millionaire.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, there's
Yep.
we can
Yep.
always
Because
go
the
ahead.
tool, all of these things we're talking about are tools. Money is a tool, technology is a tool, all of these things, right? The tool never makes the unwilling person willing.
Right.
Gotcha.
It just makes the willing person amplify.
True.
So if you're someone who is of little means
Mhm.
and you want to help the community, when you become of lots of means, you're just going to keep helping because that's who you were at your
Right.
core anyways.
Right.
And if you are someone who, even people who have little means are greedy, can be greedy. And it's a tool. Because it's the same thing with AI. We're coming into the age of AI and we have to face it.
Right.
But people will use that
Mhm.
to reveal who they really are.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make no mistake, you will see true colors.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. And so I teach that who you are is who you are in your mind,
Yes. Yes.
your belief system.
Right. Right.
It has nothing to do with circumstances. Money is a circumstance.
Right. Yeah.
Everything outside of you that you have no control over is a circumstance. And that is what reveals, it just helps you reveal what really was the beliefs you had in there all along.
Right. Yeah. Like the saying goes, people tell you who they are. You just have to listen
Yes.
and you have to believe it.
Yes.
Oh, they couldn't be. They tell you. They tell you.
And trust.
You just have to believe them.
Yes.
They will tell you over and over and over. I've learned that through the years.
But we all want to believe they're not telling the truth. We want to
Right.
believe that it's
I said, right, you're right, Jennifer. We don't want to say they couldn't mean that or that, And that's what we say about people, whether they want to do business with you or whatever. And if they don't want to, they don't want to. It's like, yeah, don't beg somebody to do something. And I'm not a psychologist, nor do I want to be. I believe, but you don't just watch their posture and everything. You listen to their words. There are so many ways that people tell you who they are. Yeah.
But my favorite part about this work that I do
Mhm.
is I spent more time turning inward
Mhm.
than looking outward.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that is the work we're missing.
Yeah.
There's so much noise in the world today. We're so distracted by looking at
Right.
people
Right.
in the world and complaining, right? But if you spend time looking inward and learning from you and studying you,
Right.
you make the world a better place. Imagine a world where we're just focusing on growing and being the better version of
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes. True.
And that is what you can control. You cannot control what other people do,
Not at all.
no matter how much you try.
Not at all.
You
But you
can't.
can control how you
Are you
do what you
joking?
do.
I'm sorry. I'm kidding you. I'm always trying to control people. I'm always trying to
Yeah.
make them. No, I'm joking. But that is kind of like listen to them when they tell you the first time. You can't
Yeah.
control them. You can't, and you don't.
And
Well,
the reason you don't listen the first time is because you want to control them. You want them to be a good person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly what it is, Christiane. Now, don't tell my
Just
husband.
be a good person. Just focus on you being a good person. That's it.
That's right. That's right.
So the question, you had a lot of good questions in there that were kind of, and there's really not, I mean, I know the answer. There isn't a perfect answer. It's how you deal with it. All the answers were probably fine, right? I mean, they're one way
Yes.
or another to look at the, and that's how you come up.
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's an obvious thing. Maybe I'm saying everything that you guys already are knowing, but I mean, as I'm looking through that, I'm like, I hate taking quizzes. I didn't mean it toward you, Christiane. I'm just saying.
I didn't like quizzes either. I promise you, this is the first quiz I created it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really dope. Because I've taken quizzes over the years, and they're just so fake, and they're not deep. I don't know if anyone has ever felt that way. I've taken quizzes. I'm like, oh, let me find out about myself. And I'm like, this is such a general answer. It's
Yeah.
not real me. It
Yeah.
didn't fit me.
Yeah.
But when I created this, because of my experience working with so many women, this is real. Like this is not something I just kind of like threw together, right? And I did it myself because I was like, let me just go at this innocently like anybody else. And it was amazing. I was like, oh, I've got something pretty amazing here. I've got to share this
Well,
because
you
it's
do.
true.
You do.
Yeah.
I wasn't making fun of it. I was more saying, though, as I'm reading through, I'm like, oh, dang, there's like 3 answers here that all are good. If I
Right.
pick this
Yeah.
one, are they going to think I'm horrible if I pick that answer? But
Yeah.
I mean, you did a great job on the first one. I knew you'd do very well. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean, Olga, were you going to say something? I'm sorry. Didn't mean to talk
And no, I
over
was just gonna, I was just, no, that's okay. I was just gonna say that that's how I felt when I was reading the questions. I was like, and I love the part where it says all of the above, because I'm
Yeah.
like, can I choose that?
No.
Because it is deep, and I feel like, yes, this is me, true me, my inner, yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah, I
thank
do
you.
want to ask. Oops.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted
Michelle.
to ask. I want to make sure that I'm interpreting my answers right. So I'm mostly B's, and then the second is C. So I'll say builder, and then is there a secondary? What would my secondary be?
So your secondary, if you go to the builders page, the builders pack on the
Yeah.
in the workbook, your secondary thing would be to work on being a visionary.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if I believe I'm already a visionary?
Oh, good.
Mhm.
So just follow those steps, and the goal of the being in the visionary phase is to so your meaning to fuel sustainability, right? So when you have that established, just move on to the next one. Because as you noticed, Jennifer was like, oh, I feel like I'm in between two. One or two of these resiliency skills are already like dominant,
Hmm.
and the other ones are kind of dormant. You will all have them. And all we need to do is just pull them up to the surface and live our lives through those lenses. So if you feel like I've already got two down pat, let me move on to the next one so I can continue to build myself up as a whole human being.
Right. Cool.
So
Okay.
can I just real quick say, Michelle, if you're thinking you're not a visionary, I'm not sure if this matters at all, Christiane. You guys don't know Michelle. She's kind of, maybe you do, but
No,
she
Yeah,
she
is,
I'm a
said
visionary.
she thinks she's
I'm
a
definitely a
visionary.
visionary. I
well,
feel like I'm more visionary than builder, but builder was my dominant letter.
well,
Yeah,
what I was gonna,
so what that means,
yeah.
dig deeper and find out where in your life you're showing up as a builder.
Mhm.
It's in there.
So
Yeah.
all I'm going to say, and it may have nothing to do with anything, but Michelle has been around us for a couple weeks. She visited a while back. She is now she's on here, which I give her a lot of, jumped on there, got signed up. She is part of our walking for the arthritis thing. She signed up for that. I don't even know if she knows she signed up, but she did.
Yeah, I
But
said it.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking, that's a visionary. I mean, she's like jumping in with all these things. So I am glad. And, I don't have a clue, Christiane, if that really, but I was like, I think a visionary is somebody who comes in with, ready to get involved, So I don't know if that's what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I'm
as
the
I
same
look at
way.
anything else after that, I'm like, oh, I got all my. But Michelle, we're glad you're on here, and I think you are. When you said that, I'm like, yeah, I kind of think she's a visionary too. I kind
So
of
did I
think.
answer your question?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, just the way she said, the way I jump in, that's that builder. I see that
Yeah,
builder side.
and I
Yeah.
guess that's true too. Yeah, and yeah, I would never think I'm a builder, but then again, we're 16 years in. So,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe
Exactly.
I don't know. It could have something to do with it. I don't like to
Well, I
give
think
up.
it's a matter of perspective too, because visionary, I would never call myself a visionary either. But on another level, in a different environment,
Love
I
it.
am and don't realize it. And
Yes, I can
so
see.
it's definitely environmental, which whatever environment you happen to be in. So you go from place to place. But I would never be, there are people that we go, boy, they're such a visionary. They see this, they see that. I don't see any of that. But somehow the work that I end up doing, it's logical and it makes sense. And we go from here to here to here to here. And I don't know what you call that.
I can see so much visionary in you, Margaret.
Really.
The first time I met you, I was like, oh, that's who I want to be when I grow up. For real. Because if someone who is a visionary is someone who loves the possibility of more.
And that I can definitely attest to. I'm that kind of oddball out, and I always say I am unapologetically me. And
That's
I
it.
see things a certain way, and it doesn't mean it's the right way,
It
but
doesn't have to be, it's your
yeah,
truth.
right, yes, yeah.
It's, oh my goodness, this is so good. I love it, you guys. Thank you so much for tonight. This was such a beautiful conversation,
Well, this
honestly.
is, this
It
is,
was great,
yes.
Christiane. I have been recording, and if this is the first time you've been on, Christiane did one, and her sisters and I were on here back
Mhm.
before the holidays. Well, it was like a week before
Yeah.
Christmas or 2 weeks before
Mhm.
Christmas. And she did a really good one. And that one was mindset around
Goals. It
money
was like goals.
Yeah.
goals, and
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
really really good. That today was really good too, but it was
Yeah.
funny because I kind of felt apologetic because nobody, very few people were on. Now your sisters are awesome.
Yeah.
They're not, they are great, but
Yeah.
we've put it out, and I will do the same thing with this.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow it'll probably be on the website, and
Yeah.
actually the link will be on there, and it's on our YouTube.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. I know Margaret, I think you watched it after the fact.
Yeah, because I signed up and I forget what happened and I didn't get to get on, but then I watched the replay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, and just real quick, Christy, and I don't mean to take. I'm kind of in a situation where I know, like Margaret, everything you're saying to Margaret about she, she's definitely a builder. I mean, she's got, it's kind of funny because I'm like, I know people's story. I mean, you're all in networking groups that I'm in, whether you know each other or not, but
Right.
it seems like this group knows each other.
Yeah.
But just go back if you want to catch the video that she did. It'll be out there for forever. We're not going to move it, and I would hope you could do some more for us. It is wonderful, the stuff. I mean, we're probably all going to be reading this stuff for a while, thinking about how do we get a hold of you? I mean, I know. Is it on this paper? Is it in the note workbook at all?
You have a website at the bottom of each page, greenwealthlegacy.com, so you can reach out to us there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And you
Good
do
stuff is we
go ahead.
and we
I'm
have a
sorry.
podcast. So we have a podcast. You can get the link from the website too.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
And I'm never sure. I put it out there, but it is 2 words, right? Green Wealth Legacy. 3 words, I mean, but
Good.
I count wrong, yeah. But
Okay.
I put
two
it out
words.
there. But you guys, you ladies, just I don't know if Michelle knows exactly, but what do you ladies do? And then we'll close up shop, and I'll make sure it gets put out there tomorrow. But go ahead. What do you guys do at Green Wealth Legacy?
We teach women how to build a healthy relationship with money so they can create real wealth. Because I got to a point, as I mentioned in my story, I didn't have a future because I didn't know how to stop the toxic relationship I had with money. And everyone around me is having conversations about financial advisors, portfolios, investment. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do with my income.
Yeah.
And this is a gap we have in society today.
Yeah.
Women making decent money and not knowing how to get a hold of their personality, their behaviors, so they can build wealth. And that's the gap we fill. We teach you that it's not about numbers. It's not because you don't know how to do math. I wasn't good at math. I have no business talking about money if it's math, right? It's your identity, it's your self-image, it's how you view yourself.
Right.
Especially women, we're so undermined and we start to believe it and it ruins our relationship to ourselves. When you build that, because your relationship to money is a reflection of your relationship to yourself. So when you build that relationship with yourself, your money just follows. It becomes a byproduct. And so we use money to really help you reconnect to yourself and be and live the most abundant life because it's available.
Good mic drop moment. Good job. Good job, ladies. Good job.
Yes, good job.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Christiane. And as I said, I'll get that and I'll send you all the link. And I just, I'll try to, I saved the chat, so I'll send that out to you too. I don't know if that really matters to you if you've already downloaded the thing. I'll send it. And you guys definitely will look forward to the next one. We're very excited. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a good night, ladies.
Be safe, please.
Great,
Bye.
great. Love that.
Thank you.
Bye.